Seeing how sensitive snakes react to the slightest rustle, one might get the impression that this type of reptile has excellent hearing. In fact, this is not the case. Nature has cheated these unique creatures with ears in the usual sense of the word. However, in return, the snakes are provided with compensation mechanisms that allow them to adapt even in harsh climatic conditions. How snakes hear. Theory scientists have two opinions about the hearing aid of snakes: theory of infrared radiation, vibration theory. Snake's thermal locator on the head, just below the eyes. Snakes have a special notch. Here are membranes that are extremely sensitive to heat. Nerve endings on the membrane allow the reptile to feel the object, the temperature of which is only 1 to 2 degrees higher than the thermal regime of the environment. This organ indicates not only the location of the object, but also its movement in space. By infrared radiation, the snake determines where the victim is and makes a fatal throw. Supporters of the theory of vibrations argue that the species of reptiles in question has one bone in the middle ear in the structure of the skull. It connects the organ with the jaw, so the snake is oriented in space, including by vibrations. For example, she can catch an approaching predator or falling objects. However, this auditory mechanism does not allow for a good distinction between sounds transmitted through the air. The unique structure of the middle ear bone has predetermined a narrow frequency range that reptiles can pick up. These are usually low frequencies, and the high range remains unavailable. Interesting fact: the royal python parses frequencies in the 80 to 160 Hz range. A person can distinguish the frequency range from 20 to 20,000 Hz. How snakes see. As for the distance at which snakes pick up vibration or infrared radiation, it all depends on the size of the creature. For example, the anaconda distinguishes sounds with a range of 300 to 500 m, but in a dwarf African viper, this indicator does not exceed 2 to 5 m. Snakes do not use vocalization to communicate with each other. Hissing, rattling, or even growling suggests a high frequency range that snakes cannot perceive. Therefore, some experts have suggested that the high frequency sounds produced are intended for animals and birds. Compensation mechanisms. Despite the lack of good hearing, snakes are highly adaptable to various conditions. They do this through the following compensation mechanisms: excellent sense of smell, high precision vision, perfect thermoregulation. Snakes have an amazing ability that is beyond the reach of humans. With the help of a long language, they catch chemicals from the environment and, based on the information received, develop a model of behavior: hide, attack, move. Eyesight deserves special attention. Due to the absence of eyelids, it is continuous in snakes. They react instantly to moving objects, although color and shape are not accurately determined. Moreover, snakes have learned to vary their own body temperature depending on external conditions. They easily tolerate heat and hibernate when cold weather sets in, which makes it possible for them to survive where warm-blooded creatures cannot exist. Thus, the hearing of the serpent is imperfect. They perceive only low-frequency sounds and